Solid systems of equation. This is lesson 722. Your target today will be comparing the relationship between two lines. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to find a point where the two relationships are the same by solving the system of equation. Now in lesson 721, you solved the system of equation by graphing, so this time we're doing it by comparing. Today we have 3 examples that I'm going to walk you through. If you understand how to do it after the first example, you can pause the video, go ahead and solve it, and then go ahead and check your answers with my answers. So to solve systems of equation by comparing expressions, you are setting the two equations equal to each other. So you're going to set the first equation equal to the second equation. So to do that, you have 3x minus 1 equals negative 2x plus 4. And what you've set up now is an algebraic equation similar to ones you are used to solving. So to solve this equation, you're going to put all of your x's on one side and all of your numbers on the other. So we're going to start by adding 1 to both sides. And we get 3x equals negative 2x plus 5. Now we're going to bring our x's to the left side, so we're going to add 2x to both sides. And we get 5x equals 5. Our next step after adding and subtracting is multiplying and dividing. So we're going to divide by 5 on each side, and we get x equals 1. Now, to see if x equals 1 satisfies both equations and makes both equations the same, we're going to go ahead and check our answers. So to check our answers, we're going to plug x equals 1 into both equations, and the y's should be the same, and that will tell us that x equals 1 and is the same for both equations. So let's plug it back in. We have y equals 3 times 1 minus 1. And so we have y equals 3 minus 1 and y equals 2. So for the first equation, x equals 1, y equals 2. Now let's plug x equals 1 into the second equation. And it should come up y equals 2 when we know we have the right answer. So y equals negative 2 times 1 plus 4. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 4 equals 2. So at this point, we have just found that when x equals 1, y equals 2 for both equations. So we have solved our system equation by comparing expressions. At this point, if you understand how to do it and solve the problems and set it up by comparing expressions, you may pause the video for the next problem and try it on your own. If you still don't understand it, go ahead and follow along with me on the second problem. So for this problem, again, we're going to set our two equations equal to each other. So we have 4x minus 10 equals negative x plus 5. Here's your algebraic equation where you're going to solve for x and put all your numbers on one side and your x's on the other. So let's start by adding 10 to both sides. And we have 4x equals negative x plus 15. Now we're going to add x to both sides. And we have 5x equals 15. Here's where we're going to multiply or divide, and we're going to divide by 5. So we have x equals 3. So when we solved our equation by comparing, we got x equals 3. The next part is to check our answers, so we're going to plug x equals 3 into both equations. So we have y equals 4 times 3 minus 10. So y equals 12 minus 10, and y equals 2. And then we're going to check it with the second one, and we should get y equals 2 to show that the two equations are the same when x equals 3 and y equals 2. So y equals negative 3 plus 5, and y equals 2. So this shows us when x equals 3, y equals 2, and it is the same in both equations. We have one more problem to do. Again, we're going to set both equations equal to each other. So we have 4x plus 3 equals negative x minus 2. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. And we have 4x equals negative x minus times 5. We're going to add x to both sides. And you get 5x equals negative 5. When you divide by 5, you get x equals negative 1. And again, we're going to check our answers. So we have y equals 4 times negative 1 plus 3. Y equals negative 4 plus 3. And y equals negative 1. For the second one, we have y equals negative 1 minus 2. When negative becomes a positive, so we have y equals 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. So here we can say that when x equals negative 1, y equals negative 1. So at the point where the two equations are equal, x is negative 1 and y is negative 1. So this is solving systems of equations by comparing expressions, and now you know two different ways to solve systems of equations, by comparing expressions and by graphing.